It's a big airport deal with big companies competing and big clout involved. And if you weren't watching closely today at Chicago City Council, this big money contract could have zipped right by you under the airport radar.
In the execution of a concession agreement for Terminal 5 at O'Hare International Airport. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, signed Rahm Emanuel, Mayor.
Did you hear that? That's the sound of a multi-million-dollar deal in the works. Mixed in with dozens of ordinances, it's easy to miss. But listen closely.
In the execution of a concession agreement for Terminal 5 at O'Hare International Airport.
Just like that, the city of Chicago walked farther down the runway toward a 20-year deal for the concession contract at O'Hare's International Terminal.
Westfield is good for the city, it's good for the taxpayers, and it's good for the economic competitiveness of the international terminal.
Under Mayor Daley, Westfield, the people who run many of America's malls, beat out two other cloud-heavy companies to redesign the terminal with new restaurants and shops. But it's not a done deal even as of yet, and the losing bidder, Chicago Aviation Partners, CAP for short, is fighting back. CAP is represented by former Cook County State's Attorney Dick Devine.
It was clear from just looking at the numbers that the CAP proposal, Chicago Aviation Partner proposal, is better for the city over the Westfield proposal to the tune of over $100 million.
$140 million, Devine says, if you add upgrades it paid to Terminal 5.
You have to do an awful lot of special things in order to overcome a $140 billion difference on the economic return to the city. It doesn't make sense.
Whoever gets this deal, it's worth a lot to the city and the contractors. But the dollar amounts bounce around depending on who's talking. The mayor says
The city will receive about $5.1 million in rent above what the CAP proposal has.
And when you talk to the union that represents some restaurant employees, if you don't have any horses in this race, what's your interest?
Well, this is just a bad deal for Chicago taxpayers, right? This is, like I said, the lease with Westfield could cost the Chicago taxpayers as much as $129 million. It's a lease that the city seems to have chosen the worst of the three companies.
Then there is that 20-year contract. Chicago aldermen, stung by the parking meter scandal, have been reluctant to sign on to another long-term deal. Alderman Michael Zaleski heads the aviation department.
The city council members have met about this and have expressed some concerns, and I think that some of those concerns were answered. Now we'll have to put it before the aviation committee and city council at the end of July and see how it comes out.
Here's how those concerns were answered. The mayor negotiated an agreement to give the city an out after 10 years, but we're told even that would be costly to the city. We asked Westfield for comment, it declined, and for its part, the aviation department, which recommended Westfield to Mayor Emanuel, said, quote, the company was unanimously selected by a 20-member evaluation committee. Mayor Emanuel told me today he'll soon reveal who those committee members are. Micah?
Mark, still to come, why Casey Anthony could be a free